Hey guys, it's me, Brittany, and this is my channel, My Beauty Mark. So yeah, hi. How you doing? So anyway, I just got finished watching this documentary, and let's see, it was on YouTube. Let me find the name of the documentary. It's called Frustrated Black American Men in Brazil. Yeah, so I'll admit when I saw the title of the video, I was a little jaded, and I had automatic a negative reaction or association with this topic. But I decided to go and watch the video and see what it was all about. It was actually a really interesting documentary, and I thought it was actually pretty good, to tell you the truth. If you don't watch it, I'll just give you a brief rundown of the video. So the documentary basically focuses on uh, why black men like to travel to Brazil. And now, in the video, it says that a lot of black men like to travel to Brazil because they feel like they are treated better in Brazil. They focus mostly on the women in the documentary, how they're treated by women in Brazil. Yeah, so it basically talks about why they are frustrated. And let's see, I wrote a few things down here about the video because it's like 45 minutes long. So anyway, one of the things it talks about is money and how because black women, American black women, are earning, you know, so much more money in a general sense than black men, that black women kind of feel like they don't need black men, or they feel like if the black man is not doing better than they are doing, then they don't need them. And yeah, so I thought this was an interesting issue. So as far as that topic goes, the money, um, as far as that topic goes, with the money, I think to a certain extent that's right. It's right. And it's like American black women. How do I feel about that? Grew up in a middle class family, and we always did very well. Are okay. And then I got out. I left home. I left Colorado, and I came here to DC, and I went to college, and I graduated, and yeah, and then I kind of went back to square one. I unfortunately did not get the opportunity to be part of the middle class, just to automatically be put into the middle class. I kind of had start from the bottom. So essentially, and to a certain extent, I was poor. I didn't have a savings account or anything to no support. If I didn't have a job, I wasn't eating, pretty much. Which I guess I don't know if that would be considered poor. I consider that poor. If you lose your job tomorrow, you can't eat next month. I think I would consider that poor. Yeah. So, but at this point in my life, I'm getting old. I've just come to the point in my life where I could support a family. If I lost my job, I would be okay. If I had 2 or 3 people in my household, I could totally support them and still save money, and that's a really amazing feeling. I can't imagine being with a guy who was completely happy or complacent with being poor, living paycheck to paycheck. That's not, when I think of a family, I think of building up a family. Really creating something, not just leaving my kids with just a life and it's good luck. You know what I mean? I think about when having a family, I think about building a foundation so that when I have children and they grow up, they don't have to start out from the bottom. They don't have to start out living from paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's how a lot of women feel. I mean, obviously some people are more superficial than others, and it's all about Gucci and your designer bag. But I think honestly, if you are a gentleman and you're looking, actively looking, and you're selecting people that want the same things you want a family and want to build that, I would think that you would want that too. And if you're selecting women who are superficial, then maybe you should look at your selection process. Back to the film. So they talk about how money is so important. They feel like you have to have something like a certain amount of money to like date them. Like I absolutely understand where they're coming from. Like if a guy came up to me and is like, "Yo, you're not making six figures like me, I can't date you," I would be like, "What?" I would be so blown. I would be so blown. I think, so to that extent, I completely understand where they're coming from, and my point of view, it's like, I'm not trying to be back in the struggle, dog. like, fuck that. The struggle is hard. The struggle is hard. Nobody wants to be in the struggle, you know what I mean? So I think a reasonable woman would feel the same way. So I don't see money as evil. I see it as a way to build ourselves up and have a family where we can, instead of spending time making money, we can spend time loving each other or traveling the world and becoming more enlightened. So yeah, hope that makes sense.